Hello everybody and welcome back to Super Metroid Eris. This is part 4. Good grief, I'm already early on and I'm messing up what parts they are. That's not good. Anyway, we just found out that 7 supers are no longer hiding behind Spore Spawn, so we're 7 short of where we were before. And the first one, which is kind of odd, because if you're trying to make a hack easier, taking away supers is not the way to do it. Maybe he was really just saying that and was doing the opposite. It's blocked off Eris before Spore Spawn. It's giving us less supers. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, now that we've got supers, I believe we can get... The next thing should be... What is it? Speed Booster and the Marble Shrine. That should be the next item, I believe. And that was a spectacular display of skills right there. If done completely by accident, but that's beside the point. So I guess it's onward to the Marble Shrine, where we'll pick up some stuff. But actually, I can go down there. Because I can grab Ice Beam now that I have supers. So I might as well grab that. That way I can deal with Metroids much easier. Oh, good grief. Let's not get our brain sucked out by a Metroid. It'll go away fast. Okay, actually, this room. There's the energy tank, or it was an energy tank, we'll see. But now that I have Charge Beam and I can destroy the boulders, I should be able to grab whatever's back here. And again, the reason these guys are just kind of stuck in between these vines is those are made out of the half ripper blocks that enemies can't pass through. Your beam can't pass through. But for Samus, they're just there. Which again is a very devious way of hiding tunnels. Because if you're shooting around with your beam, I'm going to hit the solid wall. Well, it doesn't look like much. It looks like a solid wall, even though Samus could pass right through it. Although there's... bombing won't show it. Although if you're holding it against the wall, you'll roll into it if you're in the correct spot. But still, I would not recommend that for the recommended path unless you have kind of a hint in some way that you have to go back behind there or do something. There's a hint behind there, so basically. That way the player knows they have to go back there somehow. That was not quite what I wanted to do. That was much better. So yeah, you can hide stuff really good with those, but it is probably much better to not require them to find that unless you give them a really good hint. So anyway, get back here in what should be Ice Beam, which it is. So I don't think any of the major items were really moved, except for Plasma Beam. And I guess there is something about Plasma Beam that I really am supposed to be careful and make sure I find. Because I guess plasma beams much more hidden now, but the area it's in, that's really what was added onto. That's the new stuff that was added onto Eris. So, and that's where the one little thing that my brother worked on was at back in there. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of what's going on there. Actually, I want to go down here. There's the missile down here. And this will get me close to where I want to go to. Drop me off right by it. Well, not right by it, but close enough. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what the new area is all about. I want to see what's all going on with that. Although, to get there, I kind of have to morph in this tunnel better. And this will just drop you off in a very familiar place. Drop you off close to where you collected bombs. Which, if the mini-map were up there, would show that, but it's not, so it doesn't, obviously. That was brilliant. Actually, I can grab Spazer right now, too. This will be very, very useful. And Ice Beam also helps a whole lot on these little creatures. I think they're called Evers, if I remember right. Those things deal a whole ton of damage without any suits. But they're little spiky things they shoot at you, so Ice Beam is definitely recommended when coming across them. That way you can just freeze them in place and get rid of them without being too worried about getting hit by them. And Spazer is now blatantly out in the open, or at least you can see it. So that actually is a much bigger hint than it was before, where it was pretty much, there really was no hint for it. Looks like my missile that was down here is no longer here. So, a missing missile to go along with 7 missing supers. Probably hidden in crazy spots. Of course, he would have to take some things away if he put more items into, like, the new area he built. Oh, and that's not a super block now. So you could grab this before Spore Spawn and Batoon. That would be maybe something else you could do if you're having trouble with that. Although this won't help so much with Spore Spawn. It'll help a lot more with Batoon. And oh, there's a tunnel right there. And if you had the little half ripper block right there, the beam would hit it and just stop and make it look like a solid wall. And that's how you could hide a tunnel. 400%. Oh, that's... see if this crab destroys any blocks in its path. That would help us get to it. And it doesn't look like it, so... Oh, I did not want to go back through the door. So, let's see if we can grab this thing. Oh, super. And we picked up one of the lost supers. So, we're only 6 short of where we were before. So, that's good. Oh my goodness, that was miserable. Anyway. Get out of here, crap. Anyway, I think that'll just about do it for this video. I thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll see you for part 5, where we continue on toward the Marble Shrine and Speed Booster.